So in the last video dealing with the C major scale, I just introduced the C major scale to you, showed you how to play it in one octave, gave you a little bit of history about it, and hopefully you can also see how useful it is. You know, pretty much any song you hear these days, it uses that scale in some way, and I could go into a lot of examples here, but in the interest of time, I'll just, you know what? If you have any questions, just get in the comments section here and ask me. You know, see if there's a song you can find that doesn't use it, or if you're not sure, you know, ask me about it. I'll look the song up and I'll get back to you and let you know. You know, how it's using the major scale, if it is using the major scale, and what key it's in, and all that other good stuff. Maybe even give you a solfege breakdown of it. But just for the purposes of learning more about it and how it applies to the guitar, I'm going to move the camera back over here so you can see my neck again. Yeah. There we go. Boy, I need a production crew or something to make this more streamlined. So we learned our one octave C major scale, but I'm not done. I still got other notes that I can play in this position. I can keep on going. There's a higher D, an octave higher than the one I played down here. Then I have open E, F, and G. So I can play beyond that octave. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So I can go up to this high G up here. And there's a C major chord, or a C chord. Notice how it contains notes that are in that scale. Ah, you think the two are connected? Yes. Scales, just like all melodies come from scales, all chords come from scales as well. Alright, so there's the C major scale going beyond the octave in the first position. Now, if you just don't feel satisfied stopping in that G, well, guess what? You can go up to the fifth position and finish that second octave. I got the fifth fret of the high E string, or the first string. B is right here, and C is right here. So here's the whole 2-octave scale. I just make this quantum leap up to the 5th fret, and I can come down. I'm looking at the video camera and lost my bearings there for a second. Yeah, so there's a 2-octave scale, starting out in the first position and getting into the 5th position. And you're going to see Roman numerals on the handout there. The Roman numerals tell you what position you're in. What does position mean? Position means where your first finger is. So right here, this is what we call the first position, because my first finger's on the 1st fret, second finger's on the 2nd fret, third finger's on the 3rd fret, blah, 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 like that. So everything in this zone right here is the first position. This is the second position. And then this is the 3rd position. I keep on looking at the screen and not my hand, so I'm getting the two don't quite line up. And you see how it works. First position, second position, 3rd position, 4th position, like that. So the Roman numeral is telling you what position you're in. This is really helpful because that's going to tell you where your first finger goes. So really look at those Roman numerals. The circled numbers are going to tell you what string this note is found on, and the non-circled numbers are going to tell you what finger to use. So all those pieces of information together will help you find these scales. Now, I'm going to play the C major scale in the 2nd position. So if I'm in the 2nd position, I'm going to play that exact same C, but I'm going to start it at the 3rd fret. Scratch that. It's still the 3rd fret. It never changed. It was the 3rd fret here. It's still the 3rd fret. I'm using my 2nd finger though. So here's the C major scale in the 2nd position. C. I put my pinky on the A string, and there's D. E is where it was, but I'm using a different finger, 1st finger. F is where it was, but I'm using my 2nd finger. Sorry. My pinky, or 4th finger, is playing the 4th finger on the D string right there, 5th fret, is G. So I got C, D, E, F, G. A right here, where it always was. B right here, and C right there on the 5th fret. 1, 3, and 4 on the 2nd, 4th, and 5th frets. Then D is where it always was on the 2nd string, 3rd fret, and then I'm playing E right there. So far I had 2, 4, 1, 2, 4, 1, 3, 4. Then 2, 4, and here's where things get weird. See where my pinky is? I'm going to put my second finger 1 fret higher on the 6th fret. See how I did that? 2, 4, 2, 4. Again. 2, 4, 2, 4, and then A, B, C. The same exact A, B, and C I played earlier in the first position. Now I'm just doing it in the second position. So that's the second position C major scale. Starts out in the second position, but then it ends up in the 5th position. Incidentally, guys, something that's handy to know that I didn't figure out till I've been playing the guitar for many years, and I felt like a royal dunce when I finally figured it out. But it's one of those things you don't notice. B and C and E and F. If you don't remember anything else about the notes on the guitar or on any instrument for that matter, remember that B and C and E and F are your natural half steps. That means anytime you have a B, C is the very next fret of the same string. Anytime you have an E, F is the very next fret of the same string. Here's B, open B string, C is 1 fret higher, open E string, F is 1 fret higher. That's a constant. Anywhere on the neck that you have a B, C is 1 fret higher. Anywhere that you have an E, F is 1 fret higher. Every other pair of adjacent letters in the musical alphabet are 2 frets or a whole step apart. So A to B is a whole step. C to D is a whole step, D to E is a whole step, F to G is a whole step, and G to A is a whole step. But B and C and E and F are the natural half steps. Extremely helpful to know that, because then you can find any note on the guitar. So if I have a C right here, I just go up the A string, C to D is a whole step, D to E is a whole step, E to F is a half step, F to G is a whole step, 2 frets, G to A is a whole step, A to B is a whole step, and then B to C is a half step. Remember that. I promise you it'll make the guitar make so much more sense. Those are the white keys on the piano that don't have a black key in between them. B and C and E and F. Alright, so we talked a little bit more about the C major scale. Go back and rewatch the video and look at those positions, and then look at the material, the downloadable material that shows the second position C major scale. You're going to see those numbers and circles telling you what string that note is played on, and the uncircled numbers, which are going to tell you what finger to use, not what fret. Don't make that mistake, because it's very easy to assume that the uncircled numbers are frets. They're not, they're fingers. The frets aren't going to really be there. The frets are going to be kind of indicated by what position you're in. So like if you're in the second position and you're using your second finger to play a note, what fret would that be on? It'd be on the 3rd fret, right? Because if you're in the second position, that means your first finger's taking care of the 2nd fret, your second finger's taking care of the 3rd fret. What finger, if you see a finger 4 being used, what is a good assumption what fret that you're going to be using then? Your 4th fret, right? Because your 3rd finger is taking care of the 4th fret, your 4th finger is taking care of the 5th fret. So if you're looking at this particular scale form, you're going to see it starts out with 2, 4, 1, 2, 4. That basically just told you what frets those notes are played on. It's not going to always be that way, but for right now it is. For right now it's going to, all these scales that we've gone through so far are completely and totally in the positions that are indicated. So if you're in the first position and you see the first finger being used, it's the 1st fret. If you see the second finger being used, it's the 2nd fret. But now that we got into the second position, well now, you got to keep in mind the second position means your first finger's taking care of the 2nd fret. Your second finger's taking care of the 3rd fret. Your 3rd finger's taking care of the 4th fret. So on and so forth. So if later on you end up in the 5th position, that means if you see your first finger being indicated on the staff, that's going to be the 5th fret, right? If it's the 2nd finger, it's going to be the 6th fret. and third finger is the 7th fret. Now again, it's not always going to be that way, but for the most part it is. And when it's not, we'll talk about that. But so far, every scale that we've done so far is completely and totally in the position that's indicated. There's no stretching, there's no jumping up and down. If it's in the first position, it's in the first position. Practice them, and please let me know if you have any questions. Just leave a comment and I'll get back to you. Thanks.